Yo, this is Alfonso King. You can follow me at Born Alfonso King on every platform. I'm on the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ain't here, then what the hell are you?
Okay.
Here's my shit. Shout out to the far side. Shout out Cali.
Thanks.
Our side was way ahead of their time. Dopest video.
Welcome world. Welcome world. Episode 81 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. Shout out to the far side. Shout out to Cali. Shout out all my good people on the West Coast. My brother Mike Macon. My homegirl Marisol. My bro Michael Williams. Shout out as always to Brother F, Straight Fuego Studios. Always providing us with that crystal clear quality. I am the brother Burnz. This is episode 81 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. I got the brother Bludshot on the check-in.
No doubt. Yeah, let's go. 8-1, baby. We hitting them, yo.
The countdown to 100 is on.
Facts.
Shout out to the brother VS, handling some business. In studio today, we have a good, dope friend of mine, bro. A good brother, a good soul, rapper, actor, entrepreneur, businessman.
Yes.
And like I said, just a good brother, man. The brother King, Alfonso King, a.k.a. King. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Okay.
What's up, everybody?
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, bro.
Thanks for
It's
having
been
me, man.
many years in the making.
I know.
Word
10
up.
plus.
I've known the brother King for over 10 years. I'm going to get into how we met through the brother Young Hove. Shout out to the brother Young Hove. And then we're going to get into his music, his entrepreneurial endeavor, opening up his own juice bar with his cousin in Brooklyn, which I support. And I'm going to give y'all the address. And it's at Jungle Juice Café BK, at Jungle Juice Café BK, everything spelled appropriately. And the address is 843 Classen Ave. All my people out in Brooklyn, go check them out. They got the
Shout
juice.
out to Brooklyn.
The juice for the health, the shots, the wheatgrass, the healthy ass salads, the lunches, the smoothies. I fucking love smoothies. By the way.
I'm getting hungry as we speak, man.
Word
Let's
up.
get healthy.
Damn.
Everybody go check that out. And before we get into the brother King and his career and his origin and stuff, as always, shout out to all the good people. We already shouted out to brother F, but make sure if y'all need to record a video or an album or a podcast, y'all come to Straight Fuego Studios. Shout out to the brother Render Ryder, artist extraordinaire. He came through this week. He blessed the studio with a lovely mural.
Dope.
Shout out again to Jungle Juice Cafe BK. Make sure you follow. Make sure you go visit. Shout out to the brother Holly Bugs. Just because that's a good brother and he's connected to the brother King. They used to record actually here in the same building, which is super dope. Shout out to the brother Mesa at Mr. 100
Mesa.
Summers. Just because again, that's the bro and shit. I fuck with
Shout out all them bros. Word up.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the brother Biz Nice, aka DJ Biz Nice. He had a dope reggae festival in Jersey City yesterday.
Oh,
Puts that
wow.
on every year. This was the 4th year. And shit was dope, man. Shout out to him. And shout out to the brother Coño, I forgot his name. Morales. Eric Morales? It's my homegirl Vanessa Morales' brother. He had a festival yesterday as well here in Union City. It was like a house music festival. That was pretty dope. He had the block shaking, people dancing and shit. So shout out to them for all doing their thing. Let's get into the verses, actually. Shout out to Fat Joe. Shout out to Ja Rule. They just had a verses. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. I watched the whole shit because I be souped. And y'all say y'all watched it, right? You say you watched it?
I watched it.
And Blood, you say you saw some of it?
Yeah, I saw the beginning of it.
All right, let's start with our guest. What'd you think?
it wasn't exactly my favorite verses, but I thought it was good for the culture. I say that.
Did you think either one of them was gonna win before the verses? Like, did you have a favorite?
I honestly thought Ja Rule would have took it just based on the hits that he's had, but more importantly, I knew they both would be coming in with collaborations. A lot of their biggest songs were collaborative efforts, so and I'm cool with that. That's fine. But once they came in, I was like, all right, like it's entertainment. It's entertainment. You're entertaining the people. So I thought they did a great job at that. The songs like really brought me back to why I even fell in love with hip hop in the first place. So it was dope.
Hell yeah. Who do you think won?
I think Ja won as far as songs. I think Fat Joe won as far as like his verbiage and his
and his presence,
and like the giving the Birkin bag to the ladies.
Yes.
He won in a lot of other
presentation
ways.
And shit.
But what he the whole controversy with what he said and all of that. That kind of like downplayed it a little bit.
What'd he say?
As far as the females, you're talking about that?
As far as the females, yeah.
All right.
He just slipped up. He slipped up. He basically called, you know what I mean? He basically called Lil Mo and Vita. He called them dusty bitches. But
but I don't think it was like personal.
It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal.
Yeah, no, but he did apologize.
That's wild.
He better apologize for that. They would eat his ass up.
Yeah, but I think
I fucks with that.
Blood, what do you think? From what you got to see, what did you enjoy and what was your takeaway?
Like the brother King said, it's all for entertainment. So I just find a lot of things funny. A lot of things that normal people wouldn't catch, I catch. Like, certain sneak shots and things like that. So I did catch that when he called them dusty bitches, but nobody knew that it was them yet. You know what I mean? I thought Ashanti might be back there, as a matter of fact.
And she was too. So I don't know why she was excluded.
Talking about Ashanti too?
Yeah, I mean, if he said all of them, you got all them dusty bitches back there. Why he ain't include Ashanti?
But did she perform with Joe?
She did. She performed with both of them.
Yeah. So then it wasn't targeted at her. He's not gonna play. And Ashanti, come on, she's more of a diva than Little Mo, who unfortunately,
that's a fact.
Yeah, exactly. Compared to them. Yeah. And no knock at Vita and Little Mo. They don't deserve that. But it's all in fun. Joe, he can hit. Yeah, he hits below the belt. We know this. Grime time from the South Boogie, but. It was entertaining for me because he came out with the Flojo Army fatigue, you know what I'm saying? The green jacket. He had his ice. It's funny because it's easy to take a cheap shot at Ja Rule. So he was being funny and he was hitting them and it was good. And then for me, in terms of the song, the playlist, I always am going to fuck with Fat Joe over Ja Rule no matter what. So, Fat Joe bringing out Remy Ma.
Bludshot.
The
surprised. And
come on,
appalled.
Man. Come on, man. I keep it funky, man.
You have a specific song that every time I hear it, I only think of you.
I thought that it was a fucking good Ja Rule song. And it was funny. Yeah, it's funny. But he got a lot of good songs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking a shot at Ja Rule either because he's an artist in his own right. And he had a lot of big hits. And what I always liked about Murder Inc. and Ja Rule is they never did no funny shit like with videos. They always was like with hoes. They was on the jet skis. They was having fun. So it was that time. It was that time when he was popping in the early 2000s. You feel me? But Fat Joe's, come on. He's the longest running hip hop artist besides Busta.
No, I know. And I'm just fucking
92,
with you, I don't give a fuck. In my brain, you're forever connected to Ja Rule because of that song. So I'm surprised to hear you say.
Yo, because I used to wear the bandana too like that nigga. So niggas like, yo, this nigga say Ja Rule. Like, nah, fam, it ain't like that.
But you enjoyed it.
Who, Ja Rule? Yeah,
no,
Murder.
You enjoyed the verses, the verses.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I didn't enjoy it enough that I watched the whole thing. I had something to do. Yeah. But I always meant to get back. But I saw a couple of things, posted about Fat Joe and shit. Talking about today's prices or yesterday's price is back to yesterday's price, some shit like that.
Well, yeah, you know, the internet's a mean place, bro. So they were killing Fat Joe after a lot of people felt he took the L and shit. I think he took the L too, but I think he knew he was gonna take the L.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he knew Ja has big hits. You know, so he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it," because that's his man. They cool, they friends and shit. There's no beef. And you know, it's good for the culture and shit. And he gets to go have fun and perform in New York. Why not do it?
But we gotta mention that though. Like he really came out and performed. You know.
Yeah, he put on a good show and shit.
You didn't know what to expect because we haven't seen nothing from Ja Rule in a long time. But he came out and performed. You know.
He did what Ja Rule does. It's just that people don't appreciate that shit.
He's got energy and shit. He got energy.
Right. But he showed us,
and he got his,
yeah. He showed us why he's a star.
In my opinion, you know what? Like when I started taking the tally up front, I don't know. They got to do it better, man. Like they got to start like getting the track listing so it can match exact song for exact song. Because to me, Fat Joe smoked them the first 4 or 5 rounds. The only thing that I would give Ja Rule is that he got those hard tracks, but he got Hove carrying him. You feel me? Like it's not like it's a Ja Rule single or Vinny Vidi Vici. You feel me?
Yeah.
And most of the stuff that Fat Joe played was his. Yeah. And most of the stuff that Fat Joe played was his singles, you know. Even if it's a group track, John Blaze, that's his single of Don Cartagena. You know what I'm saying? The shit with him and Big Pun that Remy Ma ripped it. You feel me?
But folklore says that Can I Get It was a Ja Rule song, and Hove kind of strong-armed them for it to be the lead single off his album.
But that doesn't matter because we know it to be off his album. You feel me? Regardless if it was his song or not. You could play that again.
But what about Fat Joe playing Big Pun?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Was it the John Blaze shit and the Twin shit? That's much his music.
Well, he played. He did Twins. He did Twins. Remy Ma did Big Pun.
Yeah, Remy Ma ripped it. Shout out to Remy Ma.
But then at one point he played Still Not a Player. And Ja Rule kind of called him out like, "Yo, your song," and he's like, "Oh, I produced it." He's like, "Nigga, you ain't produce it." He's like, "No, I executive produced it." He's like, "Fuck out of here."
He probably felt like he had to play that for the culture,
and he should have. Yeah. He should have, because it's Big Pun, and Big Pun will never. There's no other. We won't have any other chance to really hear Big Pun.
And Big Pun has to have a presence at the Versuz. Everybody knew Big Pun. Like Pun was coming regardless. But we got to keep it real though, yo. We got to think about the other verses that happened other than that. As far as 50 Cent having a get back at Ja Rule, he still don't rock with Ja Rule at all.
He commented. He commented.
He commented.
He sure did. Yeah, he said he put up an Instagram post. It's public. He put up an Instagram post saying that he killed their whole label. That's literally all you need to take away.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah,
and because I know Irv said something during the verses. About 50 in the comments, something like when it comes to 50, he got stabbed up, shot up, some shit. He's a snitch, some shit. The same shit Irv been saying forever.
That's always gonna be Irv's argument. Yeah, absolutely.
They talk about stabbing him. I know. I remember that.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there though. Right. Going back to the battle, you know, with Fat Joe and Ja, I just think that a lot of it is slept on. And you know, the crowd, obviously, you could tell they were rocking a lot with the Ja Rule singles and shit like that. Yeah, but me personally, I was giving those rounds to Joe, you know, especially even when he did the shit with Big L, the digging in the crate shit, the enemy. Yeah. Yo, niggas don't know about that shit, man. That track was hot. Niggas don't know about Fat Joe's digging in the crate days and shit.
No,
you know?
I don't know. I just recently saw something and it's very highly offensive. That Big L Fat Joe song came out, what, 1995 probably?
Nah, like 99.
All right, even 99, let's say.
98, 99.
So supposedly, the kids nowadays are calling the 80s and the 90s the late 1900s.
What?
Yeah, the late 1900s. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. yes. You haven't heard that, King?
Nah, I haven't heard that.
So that song technically came out in the late 1900s.
Yeah.
How old does that sound when
That's
you say it like
crazy.
that? Oh man,
1900s,
but fuck it.
facts,
Shout out to
facts.
them. The only thing I didn't like, and I enjoyed that Versus. I love Murder Inc. I love that whole time frame. I love Terror Squad. I'm not the biggest Fat Joe fan personally, but I love Terror Squad. I love Pun. I love Remy. I love what Joe does for the culture and what he's done for the culture. You know, there's a lot of rumors and hearsay about him. I don't know him personally, but he always has a hit up his sleeve and he can always bounce back with a hit. I like that. The only thing I didn't like in the verses, I think he was trying to be on some Jada shit. Like Jada versus the Locks,
like control the crowd.
Like a little extra aggressive
exactly.
and very New York centric, and like
And it's Fat Joe,
a lot of
man.
jokes that wasn't really funny. But whatever, it's Fat Joe, yeah. So it was expected. But I thought it was a dope battle. I like that. That Vita came out. I like that Remy came out. Nelly, I don't know. Nelly always makes me laugh.
Nelly came out.
Nelly came out because he got a song with Fat Joe. Oh shit, that's right. You didn't watch this.
We inform you right now.
Now we turn into the gossip report, right? Because Nelly came out with Fat Joe, right? And they performed their song together. And then Nelly does his own song. It's Hot in Here, whatever.
Yep.
And then Ashanti comes out and she performs it. And then she's on the side of the stage and Nelly walks across the whole stage to give Ashanti a hug and
You gotta see it though. You gotta see it. Like when you see it, it puts it in perspective.
She gave him the hug, but it was a little bit of a foogie hug she gave him and shit. But it just looked funny because the way he walked across the whole stage, I think niggas was performing while it was.
Yeah, they was performing during that time. They was performing.
And so, I think it was TMZ or the Shade Room. Like they caught him on camera. Like they focused on him and the walk. And the hug, I don't know. It's
mad funny and shit.
It just looked funny because they had, up until that point, apparently they had not seen each other for like 6 years since they broke up, 6-7 years or something like that.
Right.
And that was the first time they saw each other, so they didn't really know what the energy was going to be like. But I feel Nelly. I'm saying I feel Nelly. I'm gonna tell you why.
You gonna go hug your ex?
Bloodshot, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Hell yeah.
Because with the energy, you'll see the video at some point. With the energy that he walked across the stage. He wanted to make sure that it was all good. It was all love. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to holler. Who knows? But with the energy and the authority that he walked across that stage, and we can all collectively agree on this. Ashanti been looking bad for years. Yeah. She ain't never fell off.
Yeah. She gets better.
She get better.
With time.
She get better.
Over time.
She gets better with time.
Yeah, bro.
Like fine wine.
What the fuck?
He was getting his hugs.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's the end of the gossip report. That's the wrap on the verses. I look forward to the next verses. Anybody know what it is? Anybody heard anything?
I hope it's Diddy and Dr. Dre.
Shit, I hope so too. So, Jermaine Dupri called Diddy out during the Fat Joe and Ja Rule verses.
That I saw too.
And Diddy basically kind of brushed him off and said he ain't fucking with him. He'll only come out for Dre. So let me ask y'all this before we move on. Do you think JD got any? Like, you think he could fuck with Puff? 20 for 20? JD?
I think if anybody's going to fuck with him, it's going to be JD. You know, we had this conversation. Puff is calling out Dre, but I don't know what Dre would pop out with. Like, you know, in terms of what JD got, you know, and it got to be R&B, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It's got to get R&B.
Well, if it's Diddy versus JD, yes. Because they have, I don't even know if it's equal, but they have both success with R&B and hip hop. Exactly. Dre, as far as R&B, I mean, he might have like one or two. Remember, he had that shit with Rakim and Truth Hurts or some shit.
Yeah, but that's just not fucking with Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
I think from a cultural perspective, it makes sense to go with like Dr. Dre versus Diddy because of the East Coast West Coast beef. Not because you're trying to revive it, but because it would be great for the culture for us to look back and reminisce on that time. That means that we would hear a lot of Tupac songs, a lot of Biggie songs, and that would like, that's like nostalgic.
Hell
you know
that would be huge. But I think JD has a reason to fucking be a little upset. I think he has a valid reason to want to throw his hat in the ring. Yeah,
absolutely. He calling him on the R&B tip, but did he want, just like King said, and I didn't even think about it in that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it would definitely be better for the culture, do some dope concert type show.
Yeah.
And it'll be dope. But I think in terms, again, I can't.
Oh no! But if you say a concert, damn, that'll be crazy. Imagine a concert, Dr. Dre versus Puff Daddy. That's crazy. Like Bad Boy versus Death Row in concert live on stage. Nigga.
I think that's the only way Dre and Diddy would do it. You don't think so?
I mean,
like Madison Square Garden.
If they were to do it, that would be the only appropriate way to do it. Because they're not, or they're usually not the feature rapper. You feel me? Every song got a collaboration, or they've produced for other artists. So most of the times they're gonna need to bring somebody out. So,
and most likely it'll be in LA too, as opposed to the Garden.
Is that
particular?
Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean Diddy's as much an LA nigga now as Dre.
That's
anyway. So it's not where you have. It's not where you have the show.
I think they should pick neutral ground.
They should. Yeah,
but is there neutral ground? Because you can't take it to Miami because Puff is the king of Miami.
No, they got to go down south. They got to go down south to they're going to have to go to Atlanta. They got to go to a major hub where they're going to have people that's going to come out.
No, Atlanta's a good. Although I feel like fucking Puff is probably the mayor of Atlanta too. That motherfucker everywhere, bro. I just think JD has a reason to be a little bit appalled. Because remember, JD went diamond, I think twice. Once with Usher and once with Mariah Carey.
Yeah, JD got accolades. He got accolades.
Oh, man. Real accolades. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I was gonna say. I think Diddy also, it's closer with him and Dre. You feel me? With him and JD, I think JD will pull out a rabbit out of the hat. You know what I'm saying? And it will be like some shit like that. We didn't think Dipset was gonna lose to Jada the way they did.
Right.
You feel me? That's how I think. Because again, he'll pull out Mariah. Diddy will pull out Mary J. JD will pull out Mariah. Diddy will pull out Jodeci or whatever. This nigga will pull out Jagged Edge or Usher. You know what I'm saying?
He has an answer for everything except maybe like Biggie. But JD did a couple joints with Hova.
With the Ferrari and Jaguar switching both.
So that could combat Biggie.
Yeah. And who else has he produced for that we don't know, in terms of rap. Yeah. But also, he got Escape. And he got Escape,
He got the Brat shit.
Them bitches almost beat En Vogue En Vogue. They bitches almost beat SWV when they had their battle.
I get so weak in the knees. Miss me some SWV. I need some of that.
Right up, me too. But Escape is no joke, man. Matter of fact, I had my girls rocking to that shit the other day.
What Biggie said?
Ugly ass Escape bitches.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. But they are a couple of them. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, moving on. My brother King is here.
Yes.
Shout out to my brother King. His young brother, man. Good energy. Doing his thing in music. Let's go to the beginning, right? When did you start doing music, and what inspired you to start, or who inspired you to start?
For me, my journey. And I call music a journey. Like, it don't matter what type of music you make. My journey began in South America, actually. The first time I ever heard hip hop or just like any type of like American music was I got the Marshall Mathers LP on CD.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I got Usher My Way. Those the only two CDs. It came in a barrel. I'll keep it real with you. I'll bring you all the way back. It came in a barrel. I was 9 years old, and I had a CD player, and boom, I popped that in, and I recited the words, at that time to both albums. And then I just, I wanted more. I knew I wanted more.
Crazy.
But
those albums, by the way.
Oh, amazing album. I still listen to those albums to this day.
And it's dope that if that's your starting point, you're getting two very different sides of the spectrum.
Complete different worlds. Complete
Absolutely.
different worlds.
So if those are the first two bricks in your musical foundation, like they couldn't be any more not connected.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of?
That's why I'm a Gemini.
When I was a DJ, when I got my very first piece of equipment, I went and I bought 2 records. Baby Got Back. And it's it's a Jodeci song. Lonely? The piano one?
First records?
Fiendin'?
No, like a real slow R&B.
It was off their album.
Yeah. It's a Jodeci song. Damn, I'm gonna have to look it up. I wanna say it's called Lonely. It's some piano shit, but some super slow ballad, piano driven bullshit, and then Baby Got Back. They couldn't mix.
Lately.
Yeah. Lately.
Okay.
You caught it. You caught that.
That's still my jam too.
Those are good songs, though.
So when I was DJing, that was my first. Like,
Shout out
my
to
first
Jodeci.
two breaks.
Imagine trying to mix those two, though.
They didn't
He
work.
got back with
There was
Jodeci.
no mixing those 2 records, bro. They didn't go no matter what.
It was like we recorded it straight up and just putting it out.
But that shit was dope, though. So Usher My Way, I think.
Marsha Matters LP.
Is Usher My Way the Diamond album? No, it's Confessions.
Confessions went
That's
diamond.
JD too. That's JD. Yeah,
Really? I
The
didn't know
album
Confessions
that's
went
on.
diamond. That was
That's the name of the album, right?
That's the
Confessions?
name. Yeah, Confessions.
Yeah,
Part
but
one and part two.
my way put him on the map, though. My way put Usher on the map. You know what I'm
Right
saying?
after he had failed with Puffy, because remember he was up here working with Puffy, and I think they put out an album and it didn't pop.
It didn't work.
And then
So
he
he
went
went
to
down
Atlanta
south.
and linked with JD.
There you go.
My Way, if it's not Diamond, it's up there. It's got to be over 5 million.
That album definitely changed the way I felt about art and create, because at that point all I did was draw.
Okay.
So that was the first musical piece of art that I ever digested.
Okay.
And then several years later, I moved. Like after 9/11 happened, my mom was like, "We gotta move to America."
Yeah.
So we moved.
Wait,
in
from where?
2002, Guyana.
South America.
No, I know.
From
I know
Guyana.
South America. Where?
Georgetown, Guyana.
Okay.
67,
Oh,
look,
wow.
67 Durban Street Lodge. For all my Guyanese people that's listening.
Shout out.
67 Durban Street Lodge. Yeah, I know right there. Don't go there because we don't live there no more. Me I get locked up.
You got West Indian on us mad quick.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
Me I get locked up.
Oh,
so
you
don't
should
go
have
there.
went to the festival yesterday with Biz.
Oh, I heard you say it. I said, man,
Yeah.
that's my type of vibe. That's
It
I
looked
will be there
super cool and
100%.
shit. You'd like the brother
This
Biz.
Guyanese too, yo. He's Guyanese
Right?
too.
Yeah.
up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
But
Oh, shit.
that after we moved, I went to Miami, and then I ended up moving to Boca for a little while, and then I discovered Cameron Purple Haze, and then my boy had given me on CD, because I had the same CD player from that time. I held on to it.
With still only these 2 albums?
It was still those 2 albums, and then I got Fabulous. Was it Ghetto Fabulous was the first album, right? Bludshot and my
You're
buddy?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
got
with the
that
bandana
album.
and shit on his head.
Yeah, exactly. It was like kind of gray. I got that album, and then it's like several miscellaneous albums that I listened to that I got in the barrel, and then once I got there, at this point it's about 2002. You know what I mean? So, I got Cameron Purple Haze,
Which I love. I fucking love that album.
the re-release on Def Jam, and then I had gotten Chronic 2001. That's where it hit.
Oh, damn.
That's where it hit.
Wow.
That's
there
where
you go.
That's where it hit. At this point, I didn't even discover hip hop the way I do now. The appreciation that I have for it. Those were just good albums that had motivated me to rap. And I was like, yo, I want to rap. So back then, down south, you beating on the garbage cans during lunchtime, and you was rapping. If you had the balls to step up and really just whatever you've been doing, that was the first time anybody in school was gonna be able to see it. So every lunchtime, they're gonna be beating on the garbage can. Boom, they jump on the garbage can, start beating on that shit. Boom, you gotta jump out. You hit your 2 lines, your 3 lines, whatever. That's really how it began for me. You know what I mean? Like really, really doing that. And once I came to Jersey and discovered New York, it really elevated my thought process, because then I started discovering old school hip hop, you know. I knew about Biggie, but I didn't really know his music, you know. And then when you're in Brooklyn and you feel the Brooklyn vibe, or you go to Harlem, you feel the Harlem vibe, the Bronx, you know, going to the South Bronx. Connection. Yeah, you feel a much deeper connection to what it is that we call hip hop. Yeah. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So that's really where it started. That's where it started for me.
It's crazy. Hip hop itself, the culture, it's crazy to think what it's become, what it came from and shit. But hip hop, the essence, you know what I'm saying? The birth and the drums and shit, that's all connected back to like African drums, and those drums are connected to spirituality and the heartbeat, and yo, that shit's all crazy. Like, we shouldn't have smoked before.
Wow, you got deep right there. You got deep, but I agree. I agree. Yeah. But let me point this out. You know, by you saying about your perception and things about hip hop, things change when you listen to the different types of music. That not only goes with listening to the music, but also changing your environment. Because listen, you went from Guyana, right, to the South, listening to a specific type of music. You're like, what is this? This is insane. It's R&B. It's hip hop. Eminem is a crazy motherfucker. Then you're listening to... Yeah,
that's an ill-ass intro.
Yeah, then you're listening to other stuff down south. Like, I know that a lot of the West Coast music, what's the word that I want to say? But a lot of people down south pump it because they're writing like if they're on the West Coast. You know, rather than being, when you said you went up to New York, then you're riding the train. You're walking around on foot. Yep. You know, so all the different types of music, that influences, your environment. Yeah, you know, it changes your perception.
Down there, their music is more driven by the bass and how it sounds in the whip. That's the point you're trying to make? Like down south, they're listening to more music,
more West Coast shit, like you know, like Chronic 2001, Tupac, and you could appreciate it more. But then him going to New York and Jersey, he's discovering Biggie, and you hear it in those environments. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he would have discovered Biggie down south, that is neither here nor there. But what I'm trying to say is, when you hear music and it applies to your environment, it's different. You connect with it on a deeper level, and it could be that, like you said. The drums,
that goes back to the point I was trying to make. So if we're all connected by these drums spiritually, every borough or every area would be like a different tribe almost. So when you're listening to the music of that tribe, in that tribe, it's gonna feel different.
Yeah, and Bludshot, I want to touch on something that you just said too. Like when at that particular time, when you were down south, no one listened to up north music. So you didn't even get exposed to it. Like, they never allowed you to get exposed to it because we would get Lil Wayne's album 2 months in advance.
I'm originally, I first with Lil Wayne because of moving out here too, I'm going to be honest. But I grew up top, you feel me, in New York. So just, like I said, like growing up listening to Biggie, being in that environment, and even listening to Tupac, I didn't really, like, invest into Tupac and all that, like really his West Coast stuff till I came down south, just like you said. And then, you know, Lil Wayne and, you know, all the down south music, even stuff from Texas, you know, UGK and even the 504 boys.
Yeah, old school UGK is,
you know what I'm saying? Crazy. Juvenile.
Well, that's when the hip hop region still existed. That was pre-internet by a little bit. So and I miss those times, bro. The pre-fucking internet hip hop, the regional, the different slang.
It allowed you to discover.
Yeah, the different.
There's no
dances.
Discovery now.
Yeah, everybody's the same now. It's all shared and shit. This just falls under the hip hop banner. But back then, you wouldn't hear New York radio playing too much of down south or West Coast. So what you guys are saying, it makes total sense. You guys just took me back to a time where like I discovered Twister, and nobody fucked with Twister. Nobody heard Twister, but I liked Twister. I liked his production and his he was melodic and shit, and he would just happen to spit fast. But nobody really got it because we weren't exposed to that.
He was saying real shit.
New York centric. Everything was different. And then when you got into like or I got into like 3-6.
You got into all that music being in the army though, so you were able to travel to different
right,
bases
but
too. It's
that
not
goes
like
back
you
to
were
what
just
you're
in New York.
saying. That goes back to what you're saying. Back then, when you would travel, now you're being exposed to that region's music and their cultures and how they do it, and then you could bring that back and put your people on. That's how people got hip hop back in the day, from people traveling and bringing tapes back and CDs and shit and mailing shit to each other.
And that's why hip hop artists, old school hip hop artists, still perform outside of America today, because the hip hop has stretched so far beyond anyone's imagination, to the point where you could be in a random club in Germany and they know all of the words to these hip hop songs that you grew up with. Yeah, that's a different.
They have a deep appreciation for what we consider old school hip hop.
Yeah,
still, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, to them, it's current.
It's fresh. Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome though, because the pioneers who kind of got fucked in the beginning, you know what I mean, and didn't get what they were supposed to get, they can still go out and get a slice of the pie and shit, a well-deserved slice of the pie at that.
Real.
It's beautiful, and they create new stuff. Like look at the brother from the Artifacts, Elder Sensei. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing all over Europe, and creating new music and everything. I'm like, that shit is so fly, man.
Yep. No, with hip hop being what it is, it's still we're not 50 years into hip hop yet. You know what I mean? Unless I don't think the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Well, it was 79, I think. Whatever. Point being, hip hop ain't been around that long. So what we're seeing now, we've never seen before because hip hop hasn't been around that long. So when we get to see our OGs, you know what I mean, still doing something, like when Hove drops an album, it's like, oh shit, this nigga's 51, 52. You
get excited.
An album. Yeah, you still get excited. KRS, I think for a lot of people the same thing. Nas, artists that are still doing it. It's like rock and roll. Bands are 60 plus dropping an album and
still performing,
because rock and roll is so old. They're used to that. It's not weird to them. Where to us is like it's new still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I get it. Hip hop is just more saturated, unfortunately,
and hip hop is always I don't know how to say it. The word is ageism. Ageism exists in hip hop, so it's always like it's a young man's game. And once you get past a certain age, they kind of want to shelf you and shit. But the good artists that have built a cult this is what we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
The good artists that have built a cult following, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people that fuck with you and they go to your shows and they buy your merch and they buy your music, they make you immortal in a sense. You know what I mean?
They keep your art going
forever.
They
beyond
keep your art going.
God forbid, we all have our time. But when your time comes, your music lives on through them, and they play that shit for their kids. So it lives on through their kids.
I call it timeless music, because the average person, to be real, they think of things in a linear perspective, like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Oh, I'm gonna get to this age, and then this is what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna get that age. Yo, I plan on making music until the day I die. Yeah. I plan on writing. I plan on doing all of those things. I don't care what my physical appearance looks like. I don't care about none of that. It's adaptability. It's adaptability at the end of the day. Like, you wanna, if it's something you love to do, you gotta stick with the times, Mm-hmm. And with music, it happens so fast that you don't even get a chance to process none of that. It just happens, But as long as you continue to do what you're doing musically, whether it's writing, video, photography, whatever, that's what matters.
Yeah. Keep creating.
Your time's gonna come.
Yeah. And it has to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be true to yourself, true to your character and shit. Your presentation and your music, that's gonna keep you around. For some reason, I always think of like Tony Bennett and
legend
artists like
legend
Sinatra, who were in their 70s putting out albums. Who's another great example? Johnny Cash. When he took that 9 Inch Nails song and made it his own, and I think he was probably like 70 years old or 70 plus. That shit was dope, and I don't think we consider hip hop like that. You know, like art for a painter, for example, can be 100 years old and make a dope ass painting and sell it for $5 million. Nobody thinks of like a rapper being 100 years old and making an album. But if you're true to yourself and your character, and you're constantly, you know, making music, yo, that shit is a piece of art that you're creating.
You age with your art.
Yeah, the age doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at what Jay-Z said about like being the wave, not just riding the wave. So, in more or less in those terms, you know, he said something like that, and it's true. Like if you're true to yourself, you know, you don't have to always create the wave, but you know, just be yourself, be your own wave. Don't chase trends, and that's, you know, he said something about being hot. Like don't chase being hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
You're creative for yourself, and I think he does that. He's always done that. And he continues to push those boundaries, you know, whether it's changing his game, changing the way he flows, changing the way he sounds. He's one of those artists that can do that. Now,
but ahead of the curve. Because
yeah, exactly, ahead of the curve.
That statement you just said right now takes me back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, which was that Versuz battle, where I think Ja Rule was more of a creator of the wave. And Fat Joe, no offense, he always kept a hit, but it was always a hit, a trendy hit of the time, of the minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when crunk was in, he did a crunk song. When reggae was in, he did a reggae song. When Chris Brown was in, he did a song with him. Like it was always kind of following the trend. He
stayed up with the wave.
Right, where Ja Rule kind of created a wave, which is always the position you want to be in, a creator.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but the thing
and
about
that's no offense
Joe
to Fat Joe,
that,
because like I said, he always kept a hit.
Yeah. He always. That's the thing. The thing with him is whether or not you call him original or not. He was able to always reconstruct himself. Whether or not you thought it was a good verse, whether or not you thought it was a good feature, he's always doing something new. So that's what I give him.
That's what kept him relevant. And still to this day, I think he had a song last year or even this year and shit.
He's still recording.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, he does his thing, bro.
He's a smart dude and shit, but it's all about finding creative ways to market your music to the masses. You know what I mean? You can't do the same shit over and over. And that was what I thought was dope about Ja Rule back in the day, because he had noticed the comparisons to DMX after the first album. And in order to kind of dead those comparisons, if you notice on the second album, that's when he came out with the braids and he was singing and shit. He didn't want to sound like X. So he kind of created his own lane when he saw an opening for these pop-ish, female-ish songs or whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely something to be respected. Absolutely, in music, he was a Goliath, but it's just the problem is he wasn't able to keep it going, you know. And obviously he got locked up. Yeah, you know, a lot of things happened with the music label, so it is what it is.
But to take it off Ja Rule, he had saw something and created a plan and put that plan in motion to further his career. And now the brother King here, he's got an album coming out. It's called the King of the Underground. And I want to get into this album. But in preparation of the album's release, he put out an IGTV series, a 5-part series, and it's called Black Classic. And it's out now. You can go check it out on the brother King's page. That's at Born Alfonso King. What sparked this idea?
For Black Classic?
It's technically a short story.
It's a short story.
Right.
In its whole.
And it's 5 songs or 5 videos, right? These are the official videos for the songs?
These are the official videos for
and they're blended in to create a short story.
They're blended in to create a short story, but they're released as individual videos.
Right, you know? So they're not even released in the order yet.
They're not even released in the order. The order will be in a short story when you watch it.
When you get the final product.
Oh, exactly. That's dope. That's dope.
So what?
But you consider that spoken word or what?
No, it's songs from his album.
Oh, okay.
It's official songs.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a project. It's just a project that I put together as an introduction to who King is. You know what I mean? Watching the videos, you could kind of render your own thoughts from it. and you can, you know, really get an idea for what I'm doing. Even if you don't know me, never heard of me, or if you do know me but didn't know that this is what I do, you know, the idea is just an introduction.
Right.
And then the King of the Underground,
which is the album,
which is going to be the album. It's going to be an actual album. I plan on releasing that everywhere.
Right. Is it done?
All original production. It's already done.
How many tracks?
I'm keeping it thank you, brother. I'm keeping it simple. I'm only putting about 7 to 8 tracks. That could change. You know, it might be extended to 10, but at the same time, my strategy is just keeping it very simple,
right,
and keeping it very plain. Like it's an introduction to me, but I also want to just release quality content,
right,
versus releasing, 15, 20 tracks.
And some of them being fillers.
Right. And some of them being fillers. There ain't no fillers.
Yeah, nobody wants skips, bro.
Yeah, no fillers.
Skips fuck up an album.
No fillers.
But
5 mics, baby. That's what we're going
for. Hell yeah. Fuck, there was I gave a hot take today. No. You just reminded me. I gave a hot take today on the gram that Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City is a 5 mic album.
So that's not a hot take by any means.
No. Some people might disagree. So anybody that wants to debate that or has an opinion on that, go follow the podcast page at GAHHD_podcast and leave your thoughts on that. Is Good Kid, Mad City a 5 mic album, or do you have an album that you consider 5 mics that other people may or may not? Let's throw that combo on the IG. But back to the Black Classic short story 5-part series released on IG. One of the parts is called The Dying to Live Freestyle.
The Dying to Live Freestyle.
And this was the one released. One was released for Juneteenth, and one was released on Martin Luther King Day. Which one was this one?
This one was Martin Luther King.
Right.
No, Rear View was released on Martin Luther King Day.
That's the one.
Yeah, I released Black Tux on Juneteenth, because Black Tux just had, you know what I mean? I wanted to showcase, Black excellence, but just excellence in general,
right,
at the same time, and it was everyone in the video, for anyone that hasn't watched it, Black Tux is on my IG page, Born Alfonso King. It's basically an introduction to Black excellence. Like, even if you didn't know, you know what I mean? Even if you don't know what's going on in the video, you can look and be like, yo, this is well thought out. Yeah. Understand.
I really like that shit, man. I ran into that a few months ago. I was like, what is this? That shit is hard. The beat is hard. You did that with Bugs, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Bugs mixed it for me. He mixed it for me. I recorded that in my living room.
Yo, that shit is dope. That shit is hard. That shit reminds me of the Rock Boys video.
I don't think I've seen it.
No, the Jay-Z Rock Boys video.
Same feel. It's the same feel. Like
Not
Black
that
excellence.
It looks like it, but yeah, it's the Black excellence. You look good. I believe you have your tux on in that video. Everybody's beautiful. The vibe and shit. It gives me that Rock Boys like dope celebratory family
we celebrate
vibe. Yeah, hell yeah. And that's a great way to intro the album and the series.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm picking strategic moments to try to drop these series too, because I want to also see like what are people's reactions, because when the album, King of the Underground is actually laid out, I also want the same type of format. I plan on doing the exact same format. Lay it out based on current events. What's crazy about it is too, Bludshot, a couple of these songs were actually written like 3-4 years ago.
No kidding. Okay.
And that was the energy that I felt then. Is the energy that I still feel now.
It's relevant now too. It's timeless content. So it's not like you're gonna hear it even 10 years from now and it won't be relevant, regardless if it's if we're on the plus or negative side of that conversation.
Right.
With the project being 9 songs and the series being 5 videos, do you plan on shooting videos for the remaining 4 songs?
Those videos are already shot. What I did, I shot the video for every single song that's on there.
That's awesome.
And the idea is, okay, boom, you put the short story together with 5. You know, we considered 6 or 7 tracks, but then you also have to think like people's, you know, their attention span is a lot shorter, or they just don't, you know, really want to buy into something that's that long.
Yeah.
You know, at whatever minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever you make the song. So we decided to just shorten it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So when the short story drops, it's going to be about 7 minutes long.
And you are acting in the short story as well.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Small
Everybody
acting.
check that out.
Small acting, you know. We're going to be doing
start.
some more.
Yeah, it's a start.
Yeah, it's a good idea too to put, you know, do something like that. I always like projects that are cohesive.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And the originality of the rollout is what I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna go, because not only are you taking 5 videos, you're connecting them with the short story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not only are you writing the album and the video treatments, now you have to write the short story to connect them, and then you got to act it out and put it all together. So that's a lot of extra work, showing
Involved.
your dedication to the project. You know what I mean? I had an early version of the album, kind of like the demo version, right?
Oh, man.
Now that I think about it, right? Yeah. Back when the album was titled Remember the King, I had an advanced copy of the album. And now it has evolved into King of the Underground. When can we expect the release of the entire project?
The entire project, I estimate, it will be released between now, as in present time, because I still plan on releasing more videos leading up to that. But I see that, I anticipate that it's probably going to be released close to New Year's or after. Dope. You know, like in its entirety.
On all DSPs?
Yeah.
Independently? Mixed by Bugs?
Some mixed by Bugs, some not. But majority of them will be mixed by Bugs. As far as the Black Classic series goes, that's all mixed by Bugs. Okay. You know, but it's completely free. I don't expect any profit from that particular project at all. Right. It wasn't written and it wasn't created for that. Right. You know, it's that introduction. I wanted it to be an introduction. I wanted it to be a statement. And when you listen to it, you know, as a short story, you know, everybody's going to gather their own thoughts, but it's my art, you know, like I really wanted to just put that out there.
And it's a piece of art.
Absolutely.
Now the next part of the Black Classic is going to drop in conjunction with the release of this episode?
This is which particular episode?
No. The you had mentioned to me before we got on air that your next video is going to drop when we drop this episode of the podcast.
It's called A City That Never Sleeps.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I plan on releasing that in conjunction with
this.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this right now, when you're listening to this right now, the new video, City That Never Sleeps by King, is going to be out today as well. So after you listen to this or pause this, go check out the video.
And then come back.
And fuck with both of them. Yeah.
If not, we'll send it to you.
And that'll be the 4th of 5 for the 5-part series? Because you have Rear View, you have Prey, you have Dying to... Oh, no, you have Black Thugs. So that's
Black Thugs, yeah.
And the interlude. But that's also... Well, hold on, Burnz. That's also why it's released not in order.
Right.
Because you really don't know what...
You still don't have the story.
You still don't have the story.
Okay, so when does the short story in full drop?
So there's TBD. This to be determined. Yeah, we haven't figured out a date exactly. Okay. But when the time comes, it's just gonna be released. Because at the end of the day, I know that I just want it to be out there. Right. So I don't know. I might change a video. I might add a video, you know. It's still in discussion, you know. Okay. So, but I know that it will be between now and early next year, for sure.
I would think it would be dope to drop it in conjunction with your album, where your album might be on DSPs and, you know, you're getting hits for it or you know, whatever type of compensation. And this, you said, was free, so you want people to check that out at the same time. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think it would be dope to drop both around the same time. and people will get it. You know what I'm saying? Also, because you're saying when you drop all these videos, there's going to be a story all at the same time. I'm not getting that right now. I didn't even put that together. So when you're like, you know, you could even start dropping one a week or something. Most of those videos are already out.
Yeah. So this one will be the 5th one.
The 5th one, excuse me. Yes. So yeah, I've seen the 4. Excuse me. That's what I meant. I've seen the 4. You already dropped them. You could redrop them or whatever, and then redrop them in like a specific order. And then people will be like, "Oh, it's a story," and people.
I like that
listen to that shit over and over and over.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
Because people don't get it yet. People don't get it yet.
Right. And you can play off that mystery and kind of who can get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that too.
Yeah, and at this,
big company would create a whole marketing scheme around behind this mystery.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm not, because ain't no budget. We doing all of this. We doing all of this just independently, you know.
Yeah.
And we gonna build a core following that way.
Yes.
You know, going back to what you said earlier, Burnz, because at the end of the day, people don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. We have to introduce them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yep. And
whether
the more
they
creative your introduction, the better.
Right.
So now that gives me an idea. Anybody listening to this, pause this. Go check out the videos. Rear View, Pray, Dying to Live Freestyle, Black Tux, and City That Never Sleeps. See if you can come up with what the story is, what the connection is, what the short story might be about, the plot, and then come back to either the Gahhdcast page or King's page at Born Alfonso King, and drop a comment and leave. Let us know what you think might be going on. Is it a murder mystery? Is it a fucking kidnapping? Is it
what is it?
You know, I don't know. You think about it and you tell me. Go watch the videos and see if you can figure it out, and then drop a comment and share it with your friends too, and let them know.
And look out for the full video.
Correct.
Because when the full video drops, that's gonna allow you to see the full story.
Exactly.
You know?
And yo, King, Rear View is the one that got the female on it, the girl singing.
No, that's actually Bittersweet.
Oh, Bittersweet.
That's the Bittersweet interlude. Yep. And it's funny enough. Funny enough, I literally was just with her yesterday talking about that, and we were talking about we need to shoot an independent video for that particular track because people have really been loving that track. You know.
And what you shot was just a part of the series.
A part of the series.
But now you want to shoot an original video.
Yes, we have to.
Hell yeah.
That song is powerful. That song is absolutely powerful. And you'll see. When you listen to it, you'll see.
That's strong. But a lot of your music is. Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. A lot of your music is very powerful, very motivational, very pro the people. And that's all good shit, bro. That's
well done, too. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Who does the production on the album?
My brother V Hall. He's based in Atlanta right now, but previously he was here in Harlem.
Okay.
And that's basically where we created the sound, you know, that is King.
Right. Shout out to the brother V Hall.
So shout out to V. V definitely did a lot for me, you know. So we here.
Good. That's the connection and the vibe that you needed.
Absolutely.
To find. So I'm glad you found it. Speaking of finding, back in the day, this is how I discovered King. Back in the day, towards the tail end of my music career, the good brother, Young Hov Duran and shit, Justin Duran.
Justin D.
Shout out to
the
him.
homie, the bro.
Yo, shout out to JD.
He comes and he tells me.
Love.
He tells me, yo, I got this artist that you should fuck with. He's dope and shit. And, you know, there's a lot of artists in the area, in the vicinity. But to get a cosign from Young Hov automatically moves you up the list to, like, you know, people I need to fuck with, people I need to listen to and meet and interact with.
Bro, this is a music executive.
You
this
feel me? Young Hov, bro. Young Hov says,
yeah.
fuck with this guy, you know. Hell
Go
yeah.
back and listen to that interview, y'all.
Yeah, there's
interview
a lot of
with,
jewels in that interview.
with Justin Duran. Word up, he's a beast. Shout out to him.
So I meet King, and wow, bro, King is dope, man. And King does dope music, and King can spit, and King has a plan and a vision. And holy shit, back then you were doing like your own Photoshop shit, flyers, I guess, whatever.
I
artwork.
still do.
Look at that.
I haven't stopped.
And
it
was you
artistic.
who gave me. And what me and Brother F was talking about earlier today, the
Yes, sir.
you remember that?
And
you
I still got it. If you need it, I got it.
We need it for Brother F.
Yeah, I got it.
Edit
I get it to him tomorrow.
all this pirate talk out.
I get it to him tomorrow.
All right, boom.
That's a fact. I completely forgot about that, bro.
See, I don't forget shit, bro.
Yo, I gotta. Yeah.
So I tell King when he walks in, King is one of my life regrets because at the time I was getting out of music and I wish I had more time and you know I didn't have the lab anymore like I had when me and Bludshot were making music. Bludshot was on the label and shit. Bludshot is a dope ass rapper. He's gonna write some of my next album.
Okay. I appreciate that, my bro.
And when we were together, we had the lab and we were going hard 24 hours a day and shit like you're supposed to do. And by the time I met King, I wasn't able to do that. So I wasn't, I didn't want to half-ass and try to do stuff for you that I really wasn't going to be able to do. So I will always regret that. I think, oh man, had I met King a few years earlier, I would have liked to really have put 100% into your project and into your music. And fucking shit would have been dope, man. I mean, congrats on where you're at.
Together,
Yeah, exactly.
It's never too late, man.
Speaking of,
we collabing right now.
Speaking of, absolutely, and I'm gonna shit on Bludshot here a little bit.
What? Don't do that.
I wanted to make a mixtape when I started the clothing line, the MDMA Lifestyle Brand clothing line. Make sure y'all go follow that at MDMA Lifestyle Brand. Street name? When I started that, I wanted to make a mixtape of dope rappers that I fuck with rapping over rapping over beats from the late 1900s, right? And I sent the beats. I picked the beats myself, by the way. I was like, damn, I want to hear this artist on this beat. I sent each artist 2 or 3 beats that I thought they would sound really dope on, including Bludshot. And the only person that sent me back a freestyle was the Brother King. And shit, I have it on my phone. And I'm going to try to play it real quick for the audience. This is unreleased King off the MDMA freestyle mixtape that was also unreleased. And I sent
my man got 5.
My mind is playing tricks.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're about to hear right now.
Damn, man. You can't, I don't know if can you hear it?
1 2 1 2.
In the headphones?
1 2 1 2.
Only he can't hear it. All right, yeah. You'll hear it on the on the mix, but shout out to King. Let's give this 30 seconds of airtime.
Dope.
Pitch black tuxedo, looking like it's draft day. Living life like
today could be
my last day. Mama said that I've inherited my dad's ways. I just wanna be the greatest like I'm Cash Clay. Streets never been the same since they killed King. I reinvented myself to never feel pain. I'm praying for the results cause I don't see the change. Cops just shot little Ricky on Cedar Lane. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. We need to regroup, they're killing the youth. And all I see is black on black crime. Seen a lot of friends disappear on that flat line. Black royalty, I reposition. I see the vision. Growing up, we never had a pot to piss in. Broken dreams in a city that's never clean. Put it all aside, made it happen by any means.
Mi amor, la vida es una lección. Todo va a estar bien.
What is that? I don't even remember that. Oh, damn it! This is. I'm not playing the whole thing. Y'all gonna have to. We're gonna release that, me and King, our own single. Shout out to that though. Damn, you sent me that in 2017, bro, and you still remember the lyrics. That's
still
awesome.
Still remember, bro.
Blood. When I'm gonna forward you the email, Blood, so you have that in the stash. But yeah, that's how we met, and
that's black.
I always fuck with King, and I'm super happy that he's doing his thing now. I look forward to the projects and stuff, and King is connected to the brother Bugs,
Holly Bugs,
for many years. Correct? Good people Good brother.
10 years.
Plus.
About as long as I known you, to be real.
Hell
like,
yeah.
about as long as I known you.
Look at that.
Like, we always stayed connected. Like, even in this building right now, this building, I share so much love for this building because, like, I used to come here every single day. Yeah. I ain't had nothing to do. Like, I wasn't working no job. I wasn't doing nothing. And Bugs allowed me to come here and really just, you know, just be myself. You know, and I, you know, that's really where the artist development started, to be real. And I always thank Bugs, you know what I mean?
Shout out to the
That's
brother.
another beast right now doing his thing. He got that contract with that label. Doing his thing, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to him.
Shout out to brother Bugs, and congrats. Something you refer to a lot is the artist development stage that you went through. Something that also is lacking from a lot of artists that come out today is that artist development stage that you went through.
Yeah.
Who put you through that?
It was several people, to be real. It was several people that really like guided my artistry, because let's be real, there's a lot of things you don't know.
Hell yeah. Coming in the game, there's gang of shit you don't know.
Right.
Most of the shit, matter of fact.
So you learn as you go.
Right.
You know, that's the key. If you're learning as you go, then you'll allow yourself to grow through that. And I'm a listener. You know, I like to listen as I go so I can determine where my path, you know what I mean? Does it intersect with where you're going? Does it not intersect? Like, how do we need to move? And I thank God because he intersected me with the right people. And it allowed me to grow to the being that I am, you know,
right.
To feel like, yo, I need to be working all the time. I need to be in the studio as much as I can. If you ain't in the studio, you need to be at the house,
creating,
recording,
in the house,
creating, you know, not just sleeping, you know, like it's elements that's involved to it, but the most important thing is trust in the process. So it was like Bugs was a major part. You know, a lot of other people from other places that I've been were major parts that are still a part of my life today. My family, I realized having a strong family relationship can really influence your decisions.
Message.
Doesn't matter what you do, but your decisions can be influenced by that. If your family relationships are not solid, that could also cause a problem with the way that you react to situations.
Yeah, and the way you interact with others.
And the way you interact with others.
Bro, and let me give you props because you could tell that you apply all that and you know, just from the material that you put out, the way you carry yourself on social media, your appearance, you know, the artwork, you know, the videos, everything, it all goes hand in hand. And you could tell that there's a lot of work, a lot of care put into it. And it's not just being done for, you know, whatever, for, you could say a different reason. It's more altruistic. It feels more altruistic in your case.
Right. It's not it's not a ploy or a gimmick or a marketing scheme. It's just King doing his King shit. And King is your given name, your birth name.
Yeah, my real name is Alfonso King. Yeah. That truly is my
real name.
That's fucking awesome.
You got to think, Bludshot, to touch on what you just said right now, right? You got to think, right? When our nieces, our nephews, our cousins, all the babies look back on this moment now and they listen to what we did, we don't want their reaction to be negative. We want it to be positive. We want them to look back and be like, yo, my uncle did that. My dad did that. You know what I'm saying? And really be inspired by it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I think about. That's honestly what I think about, because we don't write our own number.
Right.
You feel me? We on borrowed time anyway. So I want to make sure that the people that do listen to us after we're gone, or even later when we're doing different things, that they can look back and be inspired by what we did. Because it might be more important to them then than it is to us now.
Yep.
Straight up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's funny? Burnz saying before that I kind of like hung it up and retired. I saw myself as not being that person that down the line, I, you know, would want my kids to be listening to things I put out, because my content was a little obviously different, you know, and it's, you know, kind of like an athlete knows his time is up
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with music. I was, I did it. It was something that I loved. I still love it to this day. I still sometimes even will spit a verse, but it's not. I'm not like I'm gonna go out there and try to ball out like MJ on the Wizards. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need
I literally,
you're gonna coach like Phil Jackson, young Kobe Burnz over here.
Straight up.
Kobe Burnz.
Look, that's why I started off Dying to Live. I started off by saying, ever since Kobe Bryant passed, I've been shooting my shots. Because everybody knows Kobe Bryant don't pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strong play on words that a lot of
crazy.
People might not have gotten.
I had that written down, bro.
Most people ain't gonna
that line is crazy, man.
That's the whole
that line
point.
Is crazy.
But King is also a heavy advocate for mental health, for being, for people trying to maintain sanity in an insane world, for being emotionally responsible, for dealing with all kinds of anxieties and stresses and stuff. So I always commend him for that. He shares a lot of it on his IG, events or things, resources that people can go to for help. He offers himself for help, obviously, so I always commend him for that as well. But recently, he's taken it a little bit of a step further and created something with his cousin, co-founding a juice bar where you can go to and, get some mental health help. I'm sure, but you can also get some physical health, goodness and stuff like that. What inspired that endeavor right there?
To speak on it, I gotta go back because I've been in the juice game since 2007, and I started in Harlem on 135th.
Before it was trendy.
Before it was trendy. Mm-hmm. Before people knew what CMOS was.
135th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on 135th and 7th. Adam Clayton Powell. And
no shit.
Shout out to Harlem.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harlem.
Shout out to Harlem for real. Right across the street from the IHOP, down the street from the Shrine, which I ended up performing at my whole life.
You down the block and over from the Lighthouse. I know where you at.
Straight up. And it's Schaumburg. Y, we got the Y right around the corner. Harlem Hospital is literally right around the corner because that's where you get off when you get to 2-3. Listen, Harlem really taught me a lot and really made me the man that I am outside of music. It really taught me a lot. So it was definitely a journey going through there and understanding like, hey, you're in an environment where you don't know what's going on. You think you know what's going on, but you don't really know what's going on.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know shit. And
you got to learn fast as hell.
Yeah, quick. It's like everything is on the cuff.
On the spot. Yeah. On the spot.
It might happen right in front of you. You got to be off the cuff,
Yeah.
But it was a pleasant experience to be able to be there and to be able to learn.
Right.
And actually talking to OGs. Talking to OGs that live through the the late 1900s.
Yeah. No, the kids call it that, not me.
And before,
I call it the good
in
old
Harlem.
days.
In Harlem.
In Harlem.
Yeah.
In
Getting
Harlem.
money and shit in Harlem.
Yeah. Guys that's done real fair time. That's really like, this is my life now. Mm-hmm. That influenced the music even more.
Right.
Because I started writing stories that, at the end of the day, I didn't live those stories, but I write it in the perspective of your story needs to be told.
Yeah. And you didn't live it, but you felt it.
I felt it 100%, and I made sure that was reflected in everything that I did, whether it be poetry, whether it be me just writing these songs and making sure that this person, understands. Like, I'll let them know, like, hey, we need to, your story needs to be told. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whether who I am as an artist. Yeah. Your story needs to be told. And thank God everyone's, they're very supportive and they're open to the idea of their stories being out there. Mm-hmm. And I just want to continue to do that. Like, I want to continue to be that person. Being me, being the king, being being a high value man, I know that it's gonna take time. My grind is slow.
Message.
You know, but we gonna keep working up to.
What's the slow but steady wins the race?
That's what
you know
they
what
say.
I mean?
That's crazy.
But shout out to the OGs, man. Shout out to Harlem where you got your juicing start. And like I said, you and your cousin co-founded your own juice bar, Jungle
in Brooklyn.
Juice Café, BK.
Jungle Juice Café, BK.
Go check that out.
Right across the street from the Brooklyn Museum.
Get your wheatgrass shots, which I don't like. I don't like the wheatgrass. I like the ginger shots.
Oh, you do the ginger?
Yeah, I like the ginger shots. I like the ones that are like anti-cold shots and shit or whatever.
Good.
The power shots.
I got the perfect shot for you. It's called a fireball shot. So it's ginger, lemon, turmeric. We add a little bit of black pepper.
Okay.
We add a little bit of cayenne pepper.
Okay.
And we add a pinch of honey on the bottom. But the honey is optional. You don't have to do it.
I'll take that shit.
You know?
Hell yeah.
Mix it all together and you shot it.
Hell yeah. I love all that shit, bro. Shout out to my niece Envy. She don't fuck
That
with
sounds
me
crazy.
when I do my healthy shit and my smoothies and my shots and shit. My niece be like, you're bugging.
Yeah, like,
But
what
no,
are
I
you
love
doing?
that shit,
like
bro.
it.
I love smoothies. I love the natural juices. You know what I mean? The fresh squeezed juices, the pears and all that shit when they do that stuff, man. That shit's super healthy for you and super good. I'm actually gonna do a cleanse soon, matter of fact.
Healthy is the new sexy. That's
Yeah.
what I've been telling all these girls. Healthy is the new sexy. You
After
over here
the
looking
show,
on
we're gonna
Instagram trying to
talk
get a
my
BBL,
cleanse
girl.
and shit.
Stop trying to get a BBL.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get healthy.
Yeah. Go
You ain't
on
gotta
a
get a
little liquid
BBL if you
diet
get
for a
healthy.
few days or some shit.
Straight up. They,
Hell yeah,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? Like, drink
Get
your
the juice
wheatgrass
on.
shot. Get
Hell
your
yeah.
immune system straight up.
See, the wheatgrass I can't do because that stuff, man, it cleans me too fast.
It's chlorophyll, bro. That's
I
a
gotta
good thing.
do that in the crib bone where I'm ready.
That's how you
where
know
I'm-
your digestive
where I'm
system
near.
working.
Yeah, because if I'm in the streets and I do the wheatgrass, it's
That
trouble.
is how
boy.
you know your digestive system is working. But I'll tell y'all, Jungle Juice Cafe was it was a idea, you know, that we didn't know would come into fruition. And when the opportunity presented itself, you know, we were able to jump on it and make it happen. And to be honest with you, we're treating 3 people for cancer right now. Shout out to my best friend Natasha. You know, she in the hospital right now. You know,
And you guys take care of himself.
listen, I try. You know what I'm
bless
saying,
Awesome.
to
Yeah,
do
no,
what I
that's
need to
beautiful,
do.
bro.
That's all I need to do.
That is not surprising to hear, being that I know you. So that's awesome. And shout out to that, man. Shout out to your homegirl, Natasha.
Shout out to Natasha. Take
Shout out-
care of yourself. Everybody got to take
Word
care of
up.
themselves as
Yeah,
much
big
as you
time.
can.
Go to the juice bar. Shout out to the juice bar.
Shout out to the Juice Bar, yo. Shout out to Styles. You know what I'm saying? Juices for Life. Angela Yee, they do
them
that.
Yep,
They try to
them
promote
too,
that health wise.
absolutely.
absolutely.
We need it, man. It's something
Regardless
good
of where you're
for
at,
the
yeah.
community.
Yeah.
It's good for the community. It's good for the kids.
And
You know, we
to
gotta
be
go get a
healthy,
soda. Yeah.
physically helps be healthy mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's
Straight
a little
up.
bit easier
Absolutely.
to be mentally healthy if you don't got to worry about your body
Yeah,
getting
no.
all fucked up. And
It applies the same way. Yeah,
yes,
it applies the same way.
843 Classen Ave, Brooklyn, Jungle Juice Cafe. Y'all go over there.
Right across the street from the Brooklyn Museum.
Get
Pull up
some-
on me.
Pull up on King.
I'm there. I'll be there tomorrow, 8 a.m. Because
Get
that's
some
what I
good-
do. I put
get
in
some
work.
good healthy stuff in you.
You got
And
to,
if I'm
man.
not mistaken, you guys also have like events there sometimes?
So I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but I'm gonna say it on the podcast because we gotta let the exclusives
That's right,
go.
the exclusive.
Oh,
So we plan on doing some paint and sip events and
Okay.
mental health events there.
Hell yeah.
You know, during the fall and the winter season.
Dope.
We haven't
Ooh,
confirmed
that's
it
dope.
officially, but it is in the talks for us to do now. You know, like to just formulate the ideas. So we're close. And once we get to that point, then, you know, we're gonna have more promotion as far as like, hey, you could come here, you know, and there'll be smoothies involved. There'll be, you know, if you drink, we can make you specialty drinks. If you want to
that's
just
dope.
chill and paint and just not drink, not do any of that, that's fine. We're gonna have homemade edibles. We're gonna have all of that because
I was gonna say that. Can you make me a smoothie with weed in it and shit?
we got absolutely do that because
Now
Can
you
you
can
make
burn
me
it
a
in yours,
weed
so
with
you can do all
smoothie in
that.
you know this is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. If
We
anybody
would
that
smoothie
know
it.
me know that these dreadlocks
Yeah, you
ain't
crazy.
just for style. This not just for looks.
Right up.
Yes.
We out here. So I know anxiety. A lot of my people that deal with anxiety, you know, we got some for you. You know,
That's
for a lot of
dope,
my people that deal with other emotional traumas, we got something for you. So you guys know.
That's fine.
843 classing.
Absolutely.
And let me ask you a question.
Wait, before you ask that question,
Go
there's
ahead.
still a lot of depression. There's still a lot of quarantining. There's still a lot of isolation. People are still dealing with 2020 shit, 2021 shit.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to come out. Don't be afraid to speak to your friends, your family, anyone who will listen. Reach out to King, reach out to the podcast. Nobody needs to be alone. Nobody needs to be thinking about
100%.
not being here. You know what I mean? We offer the ear, the shoulder, whatever. So go ahead, Blood.
So my question again regarding the spoken word videos, I checked out some on the internet, and that's you, am I right? If I'm not mistaken,
That is
on
me.
the spoken word
that's
stuff.
the Light of the Seven project that I've worked on by myself, just as far as talking to the people. Yes, that's definitely me.
Okay, so I heard the one that is God is an astronaut.
God is an astronaut.
And I really fuck with that one right there, man. That shit is dope, man. It's very deep, yo.
Now, where is this project available?
So this particular project, honestly, it's just something that I just did. I did this 2013, and I've always written poetry. Poetry has always been something that I've loved. And one day I was sitting around the house, and I was like, man, it would be really dope if people could really hear my voice. And then I was like, you know, it'd be really dope if there was visuals added to it. So I spent hours and hours and hours looking for stock footage, you know, free stock footage on the internet. And I put together these videos and I put it out there, and I say, you know, I'm going to call it Light of the Seven, you know, based on like
That's
Game
dope,
of Thrones
man.
and shit. Because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
You are? Okay.
So that's where Light of the Seven comes from. And there's still 2 more that need to be done. I have them written, but I just haven't done them.
Really? Yeah, I would love for you to put those out, because it went very well. That's why when you were saying about the short film or story from the videos, I thought it was that, because obviously they don't go, you know, I'm hearing them, they don't go together, but maybe if you would have put them in a particular order, it would have worked out that way. But, you know, being that this is a different project altogether, I just wanted to talk about it because I had heard some of it, and I wanted to put that out there, that one that I said, God is an astronaut, and also the fall. I really like the fall as well, and I like those video treatments that you did for them. It's dope. It goes with it.
And you did those videos yourself?
I did those all with my own hands because I didn't really think that I was ever going to put them out. You know, and I wanna keep it real with you. That song, God, I call it song because I wrote it as such, but I'll turn it into poetry. Well, God is an astronaut. That was like devoted to my little cousin that had passed from the flu. She was 6 years old. Kayla Crawford. If you notice at the end of that video, Bludshot, that it said dedicated to Kayla Crawford, and that really hit me because a month before that I had like DJ'd her, you know, grandmother's party, and a month later she was gone. So God is an astronaut. That's like that right there. Woo, boy, that shit hit me crazy.
that shit
hit me crazy. I'm so appreciative of the fact that you listen to those, because those are to be discovered. You know, I don't promote them because I want them to be discovered. There are people out there.
Oh no, you can't hide shit from Bludshot. He's an investigative journalist. He will find your third grade talent show performance.
Yo, he discovered that, Burnz. He discovered that.
Yeah, brother.
He put me on the spot with that one.
I really like it, man.
He's good for two or three of those an episode.
You know what? Serious. It's like an added element for you that, let's say people didn't hear it now. You know, you say you put it out in 2013. Mm-hmm. They would never think that. You could have dropped that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to that timeless stuff.
That's
so hearing it, I'm like, it's dope, man. And I was like, man, I wonder if, you know, I was thinking about it, like, I wonder if he did spoken word before he did hip hop, and then, or vice versa. What is it? You know, then, you know,
with you.
People discovering it, I'm telling you, man, dope.
The Nuricans Poet Cafe. Norican's Poet Cafe changed my whole poetry game.
No.
And
that's crazy.
Although I've never performed there as a poet or in general, it always was a huge inspiration for me. I used to go to the Norican's Poet Cafe every Wednesday and every Friday, because on Wednesday it used to be amateur nights, and I used to always try to visualize myself being up there as an amateur, but I never did it.
Right.
And then I would just go there, I'd drink like a couple Stellas with my boy, and then we would leave. And then on Friday, that's when they had the real poets, like the legit motherfuckers. Like, and you would be there like, yo, astonished at things that these people are saying.
Yeah.
And that's when I started writing poetry, bro. Like, that's when it really hit me.
Brother F is connected to the New Yorican Poets Cafe. And shout out to them. Okay. I never been there, bro. I'm dying to go there.
You gotta make it, man.
And I definitely would like to perform there. Dope. That's on the bucket list for sure. But damn, poet, rapper. I don't want to say singer, but you do be singing a little on the songs. Very melodic, dope shit. Mentor.
Definitely.
Which
mentor
very
first.
Important. Yeah, exactly. Very important. Businessman, co-founder of the Juice. Damn, just a lot of shit, bro. A lot of accolades, a lot of congratulations, a lot of much success, a lot of keep it going. Everybody be on the lookout for the events that are gonna pop off at the Jungle Juice Café BK. Look out for the next 2 videos that are gonna drop in the spoken word project that Bludshot just reminded us of.
Light of the Seven.
Light of the Seven. Be on the lookout for the new video dropping in conjunction with this episode. City That Never Sleeps. Be on the lookout for the full and complete 7 minutes for now, because the brother King hasn't edited it and added to it, but that's still possible. Black Classic. Be on the lookout for the new album King of the Underground. And what else they got to be on the lookout for? That's a lot of shit to be on.
Just be on the lookout for me.
Oh,
that's right. Be on the lookout for the brother King. I always feel like you got to do some more acting. Word.
It's funny because
I see the actor in you.
I'm a movie buff. Like, anybody that know me for real know that I'm a movie buff. Like, I'll watch every single movie that come out. I'll find a way to watch it. I'll read about the director, because during the pandemic, I made it a point to myself to learn how to do video filmmaking, but mobile.
Right.
I wanted to do it with my phone. And I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to have? And I try to learn from other people. So, like, I watch a lot of, the blockbuster movies and try to learn from the people that are relevant now.
Right.
Because this is our time. This is our time to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Message. You feel me? So
and you have the tools accessible. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Something that we always promote here is kind of like, not even kind of like, we're in 2021. You can be whatever the fuck you want if you're willing to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a photographer, go learn how to be a photographer. Start taking some fucking pictures, upload them, put them out. You know what I mean?
It's accessible.
Yeah,
you got everything at your disposal.
Obviously, if you want to be a doctor, it's a little bit different. But these things that you can do on your own. You want to do makeup, you want to do hair, you want to do CMOS, you want to sell fucking T-shirts, you want to do whatever the fuck. You want to write a book, write poetry, make music.
It's all accessible to you.
You can do anything you want to do right now. Today in 2021, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as you're willing to put that work in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, it's not going to it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be some fucking get rich quick scheme. You got to have love for what you're doing.
You have to have passion.
Interest. Yeah, you got to have that passion. You can't.
And for everybody
don't do
listening,
it because everybody's doing it.
For everybody listening, I just want you guys to know too, whatever it is that you're doing that you're happy about, don't think about monetary gain. Just think about you being happy about what you're doing. The monetary part of it will come.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Enjoy
the
process.
Yeah.
And also your biggest challenges are going to come when you're the closest. So it's going to be a lot of challenges, like the energy working against you making that positive, hitting that next level or achieving what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a lot of challenges right before you get there. So just keep going and knock out those goals and make sure you continue to fight through it.
Yep. Absolutely. And if I can help and I'm close to you, hit me up. I'll do my best. If I can't make it, I'm gonna tell you I can't make it. You know, that's what it comes down to.
That is appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because some people will say they can make it and then not make it,
and knowing damn well that they can't pull up.
You're fucked up in the game because you were relying on someone unreliable. But the brother King's always been reliable, and like we said, if you have any issues or ever just need someone to talk to, hit him up, hit us up. We look forward to everything that's coming out, brother King. I wish you much success. I thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Shout out to brother Young Hov that made that introduction. Shout out to the brother Bugs.
Shout out to Primo.
Brother, hell yeah.
Cali Bugs.
Shout out to Christina Tiana. Christina Tiana is a young artist out of Pennsylvania that the brother King actually was working with when we first connected, and then he introduced us, and I got to work with her just a little bit.
Super cool.
That would have been my 1-2 punch right there. That would have been
super dope.
King and Tiana would have been Last Breath 2010, The Resurrection, whatever the fuck year it was.
LBE knocked out.
Yeah, that would have been dope. But shout out to her. Shout out, like I said, to Bugs. Shout out to Young Hov. Thank you for being here.
This is the revival.
Hell yeah!
So we gotta get Christina. We gotta get Christina on the cast.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you to reconnect us.
Absolutely. Such a dope individual and dope artist.
Yeah, good soul. You know what I mean? Good person and shit.
And shout out to Galaxy, her first single. We remember that single. That was a dope single.
Hell yeah, the slow song, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On SoundCloud.
Damn,
it was released on SoundCloud.
I've got it somewhere in there.
I told her, I said that song is fire. That song is really, really dope.
Hell yeah.
Like you should really push it, you know. But you know, music is a journey. Everybody know that.
Yeah.
It takes
and
time.
Music, because it's an art form and art pieces, what's new to you is not new to or what's old to you is not old to everyone, I should say. So your song that you put out 10 years ago,
might be discovered now.
Exactly. There's 20, 30, 40 billion motherfuckers that never heard that shit. That's new to all of them right there. You know what I mean? As long as you get it out there and you push it.
Timeless music. We creating timeless music.
Timeless art, because you're not only doing music with the videos, with the spoken word, with the short story. It's art. You are an artiste, and we thank you, brother.
A creator. Thank you.
Well,
thank you, my brother.
Before we wrap up, Bludshot. We're gonna do 10 shots with Bludshot today. This is a segment where he's gonna ask you 10 rapid fire questions. You answer them with minimal thought, and then we'll circle back to your answers.
Let's do it. Shot.
10 shots, baby. So, like the brother Burnz said, just like VS always does the recap of what this is. We're doing 10 shots with Bludshot this week. And it's again, I'm going to ask you a question. You don't even think about it. You just give me an answer in return. All right.
You got it.
All right. Ready? All right. Let's go. So 10 shots. All right. Big L or big pun?
Big L.
Big L. Okay. Say no more. All right. We did a Hood Movies episode. So I'm going to ask you, what are your favorite, what's your favorite Hood movies? Are these three: Boys in the Hood, Juice, or Menace?
The movie
Juice.
Buff.
Juice? Okay. All right. I'll take that. All right. Say no more. All right. Between, I'm going to say, since the Versuz just came out and you got a lot of these, artists coming out that are battling each other from back in the day. We have between 50 and Cameron. Who you fucking with?
50.
You fucking with 50 over Cameron? Okay.
Yeah,
say
just
no
because
more.
my auntie live in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and I love her to death, and she make the best sorrow. Shout out to Taste Royalty.
There you go.
All right, no doubt.
And
All
shout
right,
out to Southside Jamaica Queens.
Shout out to Southside.
Okay. All right. So speaking of hoods, where do the best MCs come from? Brooklyn or Queens?
Wow, Brooklyn.
BK. Oh, my man repping BK all day.
All day.
No doubt. Is Jada top 5 dead or alive?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Say
That's
no more.
because he a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. I stick with my Geminis. And he top 5 dead or alive.
All right. Say no more. All right.
And he's the king of verses.
Facts.
All right.
Yes.
You mentioned it before. Your first two pieces of music. Who you going with from your first 2 pieces of music? You going with Eminem or you going with Usher?
You know what? I'm going to go with Usher. I'm going to tell you why.
Really? Wow.
I'm going to tell you why. Because my mom raised me to be a lover and not a fighter.
No doubt.
And Eminem's Martial Matters LP, for anyone that's never listened to it, listen to it. That's a
Make you
fighting
want to
ass.
fight.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Very, very. All right, say no more. What do you prefer? You prefer the spoken word or you prefer the rap?
I prefer just being a poet, you know.
A poet?
Spoken word is what you say every day, but being a poet is what you live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it inspires both sides. I get
both.
it.
It's weird.
Absolutely.
I can't choose between the two. That's
That's real.
hard. That's a hard one for me. I guess I'm gonna have to be neutral on that, Bludshot.
All good. All right. Are we rolling with Mary J or Lauryn Hill? I'm curious.
Yo, you make me so bad, bro. I gotta go with Lauryn Hill because Lauryn Hill was born on my birthday. We both are born May 25th, bro. So Gemini life, I love
Jersey.
Lauryn Hill and Lauryn Hill
And Jersey,
also
yeah. Shout out to
made me
that.
straight up. Like I love Lauryn Hill. I love Lauryn Hill, but I also love Mary straight up. And I wanna just share a quick story real quick. You know, before the whole story popped off with what Mary went through, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting there and I seen that shit, man, working at the juice bar. I seen that shit like popping off, like her marriage and all that, and I was like, damn, yo, like Mary.
While you were in
deserve
Harlem?
this.
While you were in Harlem?
I was actually in Inglewood, New Jersey. Cause she got a mansion in Alpine, and her
shit,
you know what I'm saying, and I just want to say, like Mary is a beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
As far as like just her persona and her energy, the energy that she gives us, you know, and what she went through, a lot of people couldn't survive that shit, but she's loved.
That's the queen right there, man. That's the queen of R&B soul, man.
That's the queen
for real.
That's the
word
queen.
up. Now, we spoke about it before with the versus battle as well. This is the biggest thing right now, all the versus battles, obviously. So, JD challenged Diddy, but Diddy says his arms are too short to box with Gahhd. So Diddy said Dre is his only comp. Between Diddy and Dre, who do you think is taking that versus battle?
Damn. I think Diddy would take it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to it, and we'll let you explain why.
I think Diddy would take it overall from an entertainment perspective.
Okay.
My personal opinion. All right, I'm just saying overall. I'm thinking like a fan right now. My personal opinion is that I would pick Dre because Dre, from a production standpoint and from a creative standpoint, I admired more, and I also felt like he, from a musical perspective, is more inclined. That's how.
So you would go with Dre, but you think Diddy would win possibly because of the crowd or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He would win the crowd,
but
but he wouldn't win. You know.
Okay. And then so the last one, 10 shots. The one that started off for us for the Gahhd cast. Who's the greatest MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas?
Why you gotta ask me questions like that? Damn. Oh man. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say Nas.
Nas.
Because,
okay.
Right? You said Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas, right?
Yeah. Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Absolutely.
Nas, because the King's Disease 2 is fire. I don't care what nobody say, that's a classic album. And he's the most recent one to release an album. So that's the reason why I would say Nas. But I admire all three of those
pick. Absolutely.
men.
There's no wrong answer. On that.
There is no wrong answer. But that King's Disease 2 is different.
A lot of people are calling that the album of the year.
Yeah,
in a
people are
crowded
loving it.
in a crowded year. You know what I mean? With Cole and Gay and Drake and Tyler and other dope albums that have dropped. King's Disease 2 is being held very high up there.
It should be.
Shout out to Nas.
Okay. Shout out to him.
But that was 10 shots with Bludshot. Shout out to the brother King for surviving. Shout out to the brother Bludshot for taking over. Let's quickly get into the love song of the week. It is Latino Heritage Month, and I realized we never played a Latino. It's called freestyle music, but it's almost like our own brand of R&B, hip hop, pop fusion with electro, and somebody should make a about freestyle music. I think I'll do that. Anyway. F.
It's like I think that's my
edit
idea.
that out. We're gonna do something. The love song of the week, Fallen Angel by Coro. I think this dropped in, I don't even know, 1989 or
Coro,
Coro. Brother F got that tuned up. Go ahead, Brother F. Blast that off for us. The love song of the week, episode 81, Coro, Fallen Angel. Oh shit! Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the wifeys. Shout out to the single ladies, the moms and the sisters and the daddies and the side pieces and the teachers and the strippers.
Shout out to all y'all.
Word up. If you know it, dance to it. If you in the whip and you know the words, sing along.
Shit, even if you don't know it, dance to that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, catch a little vibe. Catch your vibe.
Shout out to my brother Mickey. He loved the freestyle.
Shouts to Hot 103, the original Hot 97.
Hey, I see you, girl.
We need we need a revival of freestyle, bro. This shit, we need to bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Hey, she said she wanna get to know my name, my number. My name, my number. I am your lover. I know it's over. Yeah, I know we got to get a piece of that pie, baby. You know that you ride. You know that you get sky high.
Ooh, F.
Sky high.
The remix.
Make a freestyle beat with this sample for the new King project. That we gotta put out a project together. Somehow, even if it's a 4-song EP.
Sky high.
That's the love song of the week, Fallen Angel by Coro. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my cousin Marty. She put me on the freestyle music back in the day. Shout out to the brother King for being here today.
Yes, y'all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, brother. Shout out to the brother Bludshot, my co-host.
Word up, good times, man. Shout out to the King, man. Keep doing your thing. Everybody check out for all his projects. Go check out that Black Tux, my nigga. That shit is fire.
Yes.
Anybody really want to get a lesson on black excellence, take it from my man King. He's making it happen.
We here. Yo, appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, yeah.
Likewise, Ken.
Shout out to the brother BS. Shout out to the brother F. Shout out to Straight
Word up. I wonder if the Niners be the Eagles out there, but VS, Niners fan ass nigga.
I thought it was a later game.
Nah, it was a 1 o'clock game.
Already? Oh, well,
yeah. Shout out to Straight Fuego, my nigga.
Shout out to Fuego Studios as always. I am the brother Burnz. This has been episode 81 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate
Episode
Podcast.
81.
As always, carry yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride, chin up, chest out, and somebody hit my music.